Good game, everybody. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get you what you came for. So it seems like some PlayStation fans and PlayStation fanboys are in an uproar. I'll I'll, I'll separate the two. Are in an uproar because it seems like there's some hypocrisy around the way people are judging the Xbox and Starfield or Xbox and Microsoft conferences versus the way people are judging the PlayStation conference. And whose fault really is that? Is it the journalists? Is it the Xbox fans and fanboys? Whose fault really is that? And I say some of the responsibility falls on PlayStation fans themselves. You see, there's a difference between the PlayStation fan base, the Nintendo fan base, the Xbox fan base, and everybody's fan base is different, it seems, than PlayStation. You see, while you are worried about what was not shown at the PlayStation conference, they are worried about what is shown at their what team's quote conference, right? Contrary to popular belief, Xbox fans don't really care what is not shown at their conference, and they don't really care what is not shown at the PlayStation conference. They only use it as ammunition. So, PlayStation fanboys, besides the 30 frames per second hypocrisy or contradictions that seem like are going around the internet, they have another issue with the sense of contradiction surrounding these two game conferences. And that's, where are those games we were promised? Where's Perfect Dark? They didn't show that. Where's State of Decay? They didn't show that. Where's Everwild? Where's Stalker 3? Stalker 2. They didn't show those. We were over here complaining about how they didn't show Factions 2. Remember? We were in agreement. Remember, guys, Xbox fans, we were in agreement. It's bad because they didn't show Factions 2. They didn't show Wolverine. Remember, we were in agreement. That's bad, right? They didn't show the Old Republic. Star Wars, where's that? Right? Where's the PlayStation Legacy games? Where's Twisted Metal? They didn't show that. Meanwhile, Xbox fans is like, we just gonna use that for ammunition. We don't really care. You know, if your conference was the 10 out of 10, we would have still said, where's Factions? Just to use it as ammunition. And now you're trying to use that same tactic, right, on Xbox fans, and they're brushing it off their shoulder like, bro, we got Starfield. We got Starfield coming up. But you already knew about Starfield was coming for the longest time. We seen all those trailers. We don't care. We got Starfield coming up. Everybody's talking about it being game of the year now. Everybody's talking about it being game of the generation now. We don't care. Nintendo, where's Metroid Prime? We don't care. We just launched Zelda. We got a bunch of other smaller games that you don't really even know about that are gonna get 80 Metacritics, 90 Metacritics. We don't care about bangers like you do. As long as we have a good conference, all that noise that you keep spouting about what's missing, it's gonna fall to the wayside. We don't care. Listen, if you guys are console warring, you're console warring wrong. And instead of looking at that conference and saying, I wonder what Fair Games is going to be about. Looks interesting, right? Concord was just a CGI trailer, but looks, we finally have a shooter coming from the Destiny team. You notice Xbox fans are celebrating the Fable trailer? What did Fable show us? CGI cinematics. It's the same thing as regular CGI. What? Oh, it's an engine. Oh, forgot about that. Sorry, guys. But it's the same concept. They're trying to tell you they showed gameplay. They showed a woman hopping around through fire or something like that. We don't know what's happening in that game from that. And the other game, what the guy playing the banjo, they're talking about that too. They don't care. People out here talking about it's a 9 out of 10. People who usually celebrate PlayStation conferences, by the way, on Twitter are talking about it's a 9 out of 10 conference. A conference that showed DLC, which would be an absolute sin if it was shown at a PlayStation showcase. And you would have been right along with them thinking they're playing fair and saying, yeah, they showed DLC at the PlayStation conference. That drops my points. That drops the amount of points I would have rated it. Sorry, you shouldn't have showed DLC. You think they're playing fair? You think they care about DLC? They got four good looking games. Two of them could potentially be back to back game of the years with Starfield and Clockwork Revolution. They got two potential um, viral multiplayer games with 33 Immortals and Towerborn. Instead of looking at the PlayStation conference and saying this is what they showed, we got Helldivers 2. They showed Spider-Man, right? They showed Foam Stars, which is another conversation which you're foolish to even delve into that conversation about what game is ripping off which, because your games are being ripped off and nobody talks about it. So um there is hypocrisy, but you're a fool for falling for it. You should you These people are going to cap regardless, and they're going to highlight the good parts of the conference and not highlight the bad parts of it. It's not a fair game, pun intended. The journalists aren't playing fair either. Okay? They're going to go with the biggest story. So it's not hypocrisy. It is hypocrisy, but you're foolish for not looking at your conference the same way everybody else looks at their conference. Nintendo Directs have terrible games that are shown all the time, and they have a reputation for being A plus every Nintendo Direct. Why? Because Nintendo fans just celebrate what's good, and they have diverse taste. They have a diverse palette. PlayStation fans, that's one of the reasons you can never see your conferences as good, because if unless it shows cinematic, big blockbuster, narrative driven movie games, every trailer, you will never consider it good. You will never consider multiplayer and where it could be going. All you know is headlines and cliches and polarizing thoughts about games as a service is bad. Do you think if they showed a bunch of games as a service on the Xbox showcase, they would be like, "Oh, games as a service, it's bad." Like you are? It's foolish. So, um, you know, you're gonna have to eat your words. You should have looked at the positives like everybody else does. And I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. So until next time, take these companies to task, ask for better, never settle for trash. It's your man's boycott, and I'm out.